rather lean on Chris Middleton or Dame Lillard in crunch time?
Well, Dame, obviously.
Fourth, yeah, exactly. Problem solved.
But here's the thing: the Bucks are a little bit old. But when you have the amount of space that Dame is going to be able to operate with because of Giannis and vice versa,
Giannis, bro.
It's going to be crazy. You have the best player in the league, or at worst, the second best player in the league, and then you have Dame, who's top 15.
I get that they're kind of old, quote unquote, but when you got Giannis, arguably the best player in the world, it doesn't really matter.
And with Chris Middleton, it's going to take the pressure off of Chris, because now you have a legitimate scorer from the perimeter in Dame. Yeah. You have Giannis, who can score on the outside, but can now play in the middle. You have Brook Lopez, who can shoot the three. And then you have Chris Middleton.
Middleton's not a 2, though.
No, he's a 3.
He's not a 2. I feel like Milwaukee kept using him as a 2 when he wasn't. And that's where they were falling short, though.
Well, Drew was the 2.
Yeah. But I'm talking about like in previous years, because it was Middleton at some point.
Now, if Tobias Harris could do what Chris Middleton does, then the Sixers would be okay. But Tobias Harris isn't even Chris Middleton, which sucks. But he's a max contract. So last year, that deal.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. But
damn,
but I'll tell you what, Drew Holiday going to the Celtics is to steal the offseason. And it's not even close, dude.
Why?
Because you put Drew Holiday on that team, they're already a good defensive team. And you add Drew Holiday now, and you have a true point guard. Like Marcus Smart, he was plus money when you were betting him to get 6 assists, because he's not a true point guard. He is, but he's like a defender. He's not a distributor.
Well, they lost that.
Exactly, but they replaced it with Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday's better than Marcus Smart.
Yeah.
And he's going to be perfect. He's a perfect fit next to Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
But Marcus Smart was a Celtic.
I know.
Like, it's weird. Like, he played the role of a Celtic. The crowd loved him. He was a fan favorite. He held the locker room together at some points. Like, I actually believe that, like, he's going to be missed more than people believe.
I did think that until they got Drew Holiday. Now that they have Drew Holiday, I don't think he'll be that missed. I really don't. I think the Drew Holiday move it's going to be amazing. It's going to be so great for them.
Where do you put Drew Holiday? Like, where do you rank him? Like, what's a proper rank for him?
He's a top 10 two-way player. Offense and defense, absolutely. He's going to give you 18 to 20 a night and 8 to 10 assists. That'll work.
That'll work.
That'll work all day long. And then you have his defense. He could still play defense. But the thing is now is that he's going to be he's those 8 assists with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Now you're because here's what's his face? Derek White. That's the other defender I couldn't think of. You got 4 really good defenders. Jaylen Brown's a great defender. Derek White is. Drew Holiday is. Jason Tatum's a good defender, not great, but
he's solid.
Yeah, the Celtics are going to be really good.
Yeah.
It just sucks if you're a Sixers fan.
They're always good. I know. Well, the Sixers didn't really do much.
Didn't do anything.
Yeah. We get a disgruntled James Harden back at least. Like, apparently he's expected to come back to training camp.
He already reported. Well, he reported in Denver.
He reported. So
yeah, he reported.
There you go.
But we'll see where that goes. All right, let's get to some football, because this makes me depressed that I can't talk about the Sixers in this light, because the Sixers should have got Drew Holiday.
They should have.
That was somebody that the Sixers should have got. That could have helped them big time. Give me your fantasy freak of the week.
My freak of the week was CMC at 20 carries for 106 yards on the ground, 3 touchdowns, 7 catches, 71 yards, and a touchdown through the air. The guy had 45 fucking fantasy points. It was absolutely unreal. I played against him. It was fucking absolutely brutal. But CMC, man, playing against him, he hurts, bro.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Huh?
He hurts. Yeah, for real. Hey, he's tough.
Okay.
He's tough for real.
We got to rephrase that for our next one. I don't want to hear you say he hurts.
He hurts.
I went with Josh Allen.
Josh Allen?
Yeah.
Okay.
21 to 25, 320 yards, 4 touchdowns, 4 carries for 17 yards, and a rushing touchdown. Perfect game of football.
Yeah,
that is a perfect game of football from Josh Allen.
Yeah, he was really good.
That's just special shit. 44.5 points.
Mm-hmm.
So him and CMC went hand in hand. Now CMC, obviously, like I said, CMC is CMC.
He's awesome, man. Like, I know I came over here and I said Austin Eckler was the best, bro. Like, he's challenging that, dog.
I don't think he's challenging it.
I think he.
I think he's surprised.
I think he probably surpassed him, and that's okay. That's okay. But Eckler's hurt. But when he comes back, though, you're gonna see You go see Houston, Dallas, Austin.
Yeah.
You go see.
Give me your geek of the week.
My geek of the week is Chris Olave. He had 1 catch on 6 targets for 4 yards with 0.9 fantasy points for half PPR. He was absolutely awful. I don't know what happened to him. I know the Saints and Derek Carr, he was injured, and Jameis Winston actually came into this game and threw a pick.
Wait, did he really? I didn't know that.
He did. I think it was his first pass too. He just launched it in the air.
Super shit.
Well, the game was over, but he just launched it in the air. It actually wound up being a pick, which is actually ironic. But yeah, it was Chris Olave. That's got to be a disappointing performance for a guy that's a top 10, right, per week. So I would say Olave.
I'm going with Aaron Jones. He started off my week great, making me 0-4. 5 carries for 18 yards, 1 catch on 2 targets for -4 yards. That's so regular. That's so regular.
You know what? I got to give you your credit though, man, because to come up here and say you're 0-4 after your history here in the last couple of years, like I got to give you your flowers.
Okay, we're going to turn it around.
Yeah, you got to turn them all.
We're going to turn it around this week. I'm coming. I'm gonna hand Judy his first loss. I ain't hard to find. Well, right now I'm very hard to find, but I ain't gonna be hard to find in about 2 weeks.
You don't think so?
No, it starts this week.
I like that. That's good. Look, I'm rooting for you, man. I really.
I don't have the worst team in the league.
I believe that.
I just had some sucker shit happen. I'm sucker free. So this week we take care of Juddy. We go to 1-4. Next week, I collect Seamus's cheeks. We're 2-4. After that, I collect Dole's cheeks. We're 3-4. After that,
I figured out
it might
our
be
schedule.
your cheeks that I collect.
No, you'll never do that. Yeah, I figured out our schedule. So I play. Whoever I play is the person you play next.
Okay.
I learned that on our schedule.
Who do you play in week 7?
Week 7, I play. So this week I play Seamus, which I'm in trouble because his team's loaded and I have my guys on the buys.
All right, chill on him.
And then I play Dole week 6.
Here we go.
And then I play Cheddar Cheese on week 7.
Oh yeah. So here we go. After I get the Cheddar in week 8, I'm gonna be 4-4, and I ain't gonna be hard to find.
We play week 11.
Then I play Derek. Then I play Caesar. And then I play you week 11.
Yeah.
And Kamara's on a bye. Whew.
That's all good. I'll play Rico.
That's fine.
RB2, baby.
Thanks, Rico.
Rico will be all right.
Scooper Poop.
Scooper Poop. Let's go.
Tyler Boyd.
Poop. I don't think Higgins is going to be out long, and I don't see let's be real here. The Bengals offense is nothing to write home about. Right now, they look very, very pedestrian, sluggish. They have no deep threat, going on. There's nothing. They have no juice to them. There's you don't see big plays out of them. And if anything, if you want to pick him up, cool for the targets, but he's not productive on his targets. If you look at his last couple games, I think he had under 50 yards or 60 yards or so on 5 catches or so. So I'm not high on Tyler Boyd, especially on this offense.
That's poop. And it's whether T. Higgins got hurt or not. The problem with it is the offense is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Burrow looks like shit.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase isn't even really getting run like that.
Nah.
Jamar Chase is complaining, saying that he's always open.
Yeah.
You're going to pick up Tyler Boyd and think that's going to do anything? I don't see it.
Yeah, I'm right with you.
And is T. Higgins out?
It's not confirmed. No, I don't know.
I don't think
he did not practice today though. So that's 2 days in a row he didn't practice. So keep that in mind.
He's playing for supper. He's playing for his supper.
Well, yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I don't think he's going to practice this week, but I don't think he's going to play.
All right.
Honestly.
Either way, it doesn't matter.
I don't think he's coming back till week 8. That's just my opinion because they have a bye week on week 7. And by the time you can, I don't see it happening. But the Bengals are also what are they? 1-3?
Yeah.
I mean, they need him.
They're going to need him. Yeah.
So something to monitor there.
Oh my God. Jake Ferguson.
Scoop. He had 7 targets in 3 of the last 4 games. The Cowboys will throw the ball, and I believe he will get all the targets pretty much in the red zone. They look to him. If you look at the last couple of games, I think he had most of the targets in the red zone. So I'd be looking to take up Jake Ferguson.
Absolutely. He's a red zone machine.
Mm-hmm.
He replaced Dalton Schultz. Now,
Yeah.
2 years, because look, Dalton Schultz got hurt last year, but the year before that, Dalton Schultz was awesome for the Cowboys and in the red zone.
Yep.
So I'm scooping Jake Ferguson all day long.
No doubt.
CJ Stroud.
Scoop. He has thrown for more than 280 yards and 2 touchdowns per week from weeks 2 to 4. I don't think he slows down throwing the football either. I think Houston's going to keep allowing him to sling it. I love Stroud. I think he's a scoop.
Yeah, same. If you have quarterback trouble, pick him up.
Yep.
Because, or even if you don't, put him on your bench because he's worthy.
Mm-hmm.
He's a worthy starter.
Yep.
And it's like, this is what pisses me off. They're missing 4 offensive linemen. He's throwing the Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Robert Woods, Damian Pierce, who's been modest. This is where I laugh at the people dying on the Justin Fields hill, because it's like, oh, Justin Fields has nobody to work with. Blah, blah, blah. Look at this, look at that, and it's like, well, CJ Stroud is playing with a backup offensive line, and he doesn't have DJ Moore. He's got second and third year guys. So
Nico's heat though.
Nico is really good.
He's young. He's a young receiver.
But if you ask anybody right now, they would take DJ Moore over Nico Collins. But DJ Moore's stock is falling right now because his quarterback can't get him the ball.
Ask that question after this season, though. I think the answer might be different.
But here's the thing: if you put DJ Moore with CJ Stroud, he would look a lot better.
Sure, maybe.
The reason DJ Moore
I would agree
looks
with
like
that.
shit is because he's playing with shit.
I would agree with that. I don't think the Bears know how to use DJ Moore.
I don't think it's a matter of that. I think they don't have a quarterback.
That too. I just don't think they know how to use him as well.
Okay, it's Thursday night.
It's Thursday night.
Oh yeah, the Bears are playing tonight.
The Bears are playing tonight.
Scoop or poop, Zach Ertz.
Poop. I know he gets the targets, but this offense is hard to trust. I'm out on him.
I would scoop him. I think it's worth a flyer.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's worth a flyer, but I don't know. Look, I don't know what to make of Josh Dobbs.
He's all right. I gotta be
So,
honest with you. And remember when, like last week, I said, "Yo, are the Cardinals kind of underrated a little bit?"
I think they are.
They look all right.
Here's the thing: they're playing so hard.
They're playing inspired football.
And like Josh Dobbs, he looks okay.
He looks pretty good.
Their offense looks okay.
Yeah.
So it's like, I know Zach Ertz is 75 years old, but like,
Zag.
yeah, I mean that's a Seamus player.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he did pick him up. I'm playing against Seamus this week, so
of course, Samaj Kareem.
Poop. I don't think the Broncos. I think the Broncos like that kid Jameel McLaughlin more, and plus Javonte Williams just came back to practice. So if you dropped, free agent budget on either or, sorry, but yeah, I'm poop on that.
Yeah, same. I don't want anybody in that backfield.
Yeah,
I was saying that before the season started. I said it after that. I don't trust it.
I like Samaje. Like I like his role if he's going to catch passes like he did in Cincy. Like that's
Correct.
his specialty.
He
was good in Cincy when he caught passes, but when he comes to Denver, it just doesn't feel like they're using him properly. So for right now, I'm poop.
Oh my God! All right, our new one, whatchamacall, our new topic. We're gonna do bullshit at Bartle.
I like that. This
is all different stuff that we've been talking about throughout the week. I want to know right now who's been the MVP through 4 weeks of the season.
All right, the MVP has been CMC. This guy's averaging 20 carries a game for 115 yards per game with 6 touchdowns to go along with 18 catches for 141 yards and a touchdown through the air. He has 7 total touchdowns and his team is undefeated. If anybody's going to put the running back name in the proper light, it's going to be CMC. Like this is why you pay running backs, because he does have that impact on the team. So for me right now, like he's the MVP. I mean, I don't. Usually, to me, a quarterback would get it because they get the ball so often. They have the ball on every play in their hands, for the most part. But like what I'm saying is just like the impact of CMC has been more than, to me, any quarterback that has played up to this point. So I'm gonna go with CMC.
For me, the MVP is Patrick Mahomes.
Wow.
Because here's the thing.
What?
It's most valuable player. That offense is shit. If you take Patrick Mahomes off of the Chiefs, I don't even know if they score points.
Well, in that case, LeBron James should have won every single year.
I mean, I've been saying that.
So then, like, I understand your answer. Your answer is like a logical one.
It is, because here's the thing.
When you look at it from that angle, but I'm like, I think the MVP is more or less like statistical right now.
Yeah.
And who's hot in the media along with that.
Well, here's the thing.
I think it's a combination.
I agree. But for me, it's like Patrick Mahomes is so great. So his standard is already sky high. So when he doesn't play his best, you're looking at him and asking questions. Oh, is he slipping? Blah, 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 blah. But the thing is that if you took Patrick Mahomes off of the Chiefs, their offense would be abysmal because that offense is ass. The only reason that they're 3-1 is because of Mahomes. That's the only reason that offense is anything. I mean, he's throwing the Sky Moore, Kadarius Toney,
Travis Kelce,
Rashae Rice. I know Travis Kelce.
I get it. I get it too,
and
bro.
I said this after what game was it? The game they lost. What game did they lose?
What do you mean?
When they lost? They
lost
the Lions.
Detroit.
They lost to Detroit, and I said, I don't care when Travis Kelce comes back. That offense is going to struggle to score points no matter what.
Yeah, of course.
So Patrick Mahomes is the MVP, hands down. It's Patrick Mahomes, dude. It's Mahomes.
Logically, yes. Well, Justin Fields just threw a touchdown pass to DJ Moore for 20 yards.
Him
touchdown pass.
Did he really?
Yeah, Fields. He's 2 of 3, 78 yards and a touchdown in the first drive. Moore has 2 catches, 78 yards and a touchdown. We're over here talking like they don't know how to use him, but maybe they figured it out.
Yeah.
I wish we were watching right now, but that's okay.
I know.
We're potting.
I know.
Oh, so let me ask you a question. Player A and player B.
Okay.
Player A has 1,048 yards passing, 9 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 106 rushing yards with 2 touchdowns. Right? Player B has 1,014 yards passing, 9 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 70 yards rushing, and 0 touchdowns. Which player would you rather have?
Player B, from what I can remember.
Player B?
You said a lot. From what I can remember.
Would you believe the names I'm about to tell you? Would you believe it? Like, honestly?
Go ahead.
The player that you would select would be Russell Wilson. The player that you didn't select is Josh Allen.
I knew player A was Josh Allen.
How crazy is that?
Here's the reason I knew it was Josh Allen.
Well, you have him in fantasy, so you kind of understand.
I knew the 4 interceptions. I knew it was Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't know that was Russell Wilson.
How fucking crazy is that?
I know.
It kind of blew my mind too, because I'm sitting there, I'm like, wait a minute. Because the MVP question had me thinking, like, everybody was talking about Josh Allen. Josh Allen's the favorite. And I'm looking at it, I'm looking at the statistics, and I'm like, yeah, I get it that they beat the Dolphins just now, so maybe like it's all the immediate hype.
We're gonna get there.
But I'm looking at the MVP and I'm like, I understand what he just did, but you can't erase week 1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, when you have a bad game, it's a stain on your resume until further notice. Until you play so damn good consistently that you look back at that game and like, damn, that was actually like a legit fluke.
It was a blip.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So, like, Josh Allen, to me, like, he hasn't played to that standard yet. I'm not saying that he can't play to that standard because I love him, but I'm saying he hasn't played to that standard yet. And I think he will. But I don't have him as the MVP right now.
Who?
Josh Allen.
Oh, no, he's not the MVP.
A lot of people were saying it, and that's why I wanted to, like, kind of like...
We're going to get there, and I can't wait.
Figure it out.
I wish you saved that, because we're going to get there.
Damn it.
We're going to get there, and it's going to be great, because I'm actually really happy you said that.
Okay, good.
Because I think you're going to understand what I'm going to say when we get there.
Yeah.
Which rookie has impressed you the most?
CJ Stroud. I mean, Houston's literally been a dumpster fire for years, and... You know, well, obviously since Deshaun Watson and back in 2017, 2018. But there's something special, brewing in Houston, bro. I actually think CJ Stroud's a really good quarterback. I think he's a good leader for him. He has 1,200 yards and 6 touchdowns as a rookie. That's something special.
And no interceptions.
That's second most all time in the first 4 games for an NFL start to a career. Bro, like, that's crazy.
He has no interceptions.
You know who number 1 is?
Andrew Luck?
No, Cam Newton.
Really?
Yeah, Cam Newton. And it's by maybe, I think maybe like 50 yards or something. I forget what it is.
For like 394 yards in his debut.
It was some, I mean, yeah.
Against, I forget.
But Stroud's second, though.
I mean, look.
In Houston.
He threw for 242 yards against the Ravens, 384 against the Colts, 280 against the Jags, 306 versus the Steelers. And you called that upset. That was great. I wish I listened to you. I would have won some money on Sunday. But he hasn't thrown an interception yet. This is a rookie with a defensive head coach.
Yeah.
And backup offensive lineman. No true number one wide receiver. No true number one tight end. No true good, like legit running back.
Bro,
he's just got dudes out there that he's playing with.
He's really good. He's really good. I'll tell you what, man. Houston, they got lucky taking Stroud.
If the Panthers are probably sick to their stomach.
This kid's legit. I mean, if you look at his outside of week 1, from weeks 2 to 4, he has a quarterback rating of 103.5, 118.8, and 111.3 against the Colts, the Jags, and the Steelers. I mean, man, like he's keeping Houston in some ball games. He's making them competitive. You know, we don't look at Houston anymore on the roster or on the schedule and say dub. Like you have to look at it and be like, hey, they're going to give you a fight. They're going to give you everything they got. I mean, look, their coach,
I'll tell you,
is awesome too. I like their coach.
You know who needs to be very careful? Jacksonville.
Yeah,
that ain't a runaway in that division. The Colts look okay, and it should have been. The Colts look okay. The Texans look good, and
I like D'Amico Ryans right now. To me, he actually, if it wasn't for the record, I would have him as.
What are they, 2-2? They're 2-2.
Yeah, I mean they're 2-2, but I would have him in the running as coach of the year
if they win 8-9 games.
Sure.
If they win 8-9 games and win that division, he's coach of the year.
If they
I don't care what else happens.
If they win, they have to win division for him to win.
That's if they win the division and they're 9 and they're 9-8, he's coach of the year. And I don't care what any other coach does in the
I wouldn't be mad at that, honestly. I think he deserves it. I mean, he's coaching his ass off with this team.
I know. And that franchise was
their defense is quietly pretty good too, man. They are right. They are right.
Now let's go to other franchises that are truly ass.
Yeah, let's talk about
Bears, Cardinals, Raiders, Giants, Broncos. Which one of those 5 dumpster fires do you think is the worst situation?
All right, we have to really dive into this, right? Like we have to break it down piece by piece here with this one. To me, out of the Bears, the Cardinals, the Raiders, the Giants, and the Broncos, the worst situation right now is the New York Giants. They don't have anything on offense. They traded a 3rd-round pick for a decoy in Darren Waller. Saquon is about to be a free agent again. Who knows if he even wants to come back at this point, because maybe he wants to play for a contender next year. Daniel Jones has a $47 million cap hit next year, and they are just an overall bad football team. They don't have any wide receivers that stand out that can be like that you can kind of hang your hat on, be like, oh, okay, at least we have this guy on offense. All we need is a quarterback to complement him. The problem is you're locked into the quarterback. So you can't make any moves outside of trading him, and nobody's going to pick up that contract. So good luck. So it's either you eat the money and you go find a quarterback, or you're going to have to stick with Daniel Jones and ride it out till the wheels fall off, or the axle fall off at this point. I mean, the whole car has collapsed. The Giants to me have become such a disaster. I feel kind of bad for Brian Daboll to a sense that I know he's going to get fired soon, and it might be the end of the year.
I disagree.
If the Giants continue the way they are continuing and they're getting blown the fuck out, yeah, he's gone, bro.
I don't know, man.
He's going to be gone.
It's hard because did he? Want
it's not going to be his fault. It's not going to be his fault.
Well, I said this before. We got in this argument all over the summer when we were going back and forth with the Daniel Jones shit. And I kept saying, oh, running backs don't matter. Saquon Barkley matters. Saquon Barkley has been the Giants the last 4 years. Daniel Jones blows. Daniel Jones isn't bringing – nobody goes to a Giants game like, damn, man, I'm going there to see Daniel Jones. Like, if you want to do that, if you want to see Daniel Jones, just put on Full House because he looks like Danny Tanner. Like, I'm so tired of it, man. It's so annoying. And you have to sit there and Saquon Barkley gets the shit end of the stick and doesn't get paid while you pay Daniel Jones $47 million, and the dude is trash.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones blows.
He stinks.
Like, for real. Yeah. For real. And this is what happens. And I'm so happy that this is happening and this is unfolding like this, because the Giants might not win 4 games. And this is what that organization deserves. This is what that organization deserves. Your offensive line stinks. Your quarterback stinks. Your wide receiver stinks. Your tight end is washed up. Your running back is getting hurt because he doesn't have an offensive line to block him. Your coach is good, but he's got nothing to work with. You're getting embarrassed week in and week out.
Yeah.
It's a great time to be an Eagles fan, a Cowboys fan, or a Commanders fan because they're the doormat of the NFC East.
Commanders.
So,
no, that's real. So, like, if I had to break it down for all the teams, that would be the worst team that I think is in the worst situation. Because the other teams, I think they could be salvaged by drafting a little bit. I think the Bears have 2 picks next year, including Carolina's, because they traded for the number 1 overall pick, Carolina.
But here's the thing: I think there's a team here that has a worse situation. I think it's the Broncos.
Okay.
Because here's the thing: with Russell Wilson next year, like, look,
they were number 2 on my list. To be fair,
the Giants after next year can get out of Daniel Jones. The Broncos are stuck. Like, he's a $22 million cap hit this year. Or I'm sorry, next year he's got a $35 million cap hit. And if they cut him, it's $85 million. In 2025, he's got a $55 million cap hit, and it's $49 million in dead cap if they were to cut him.
Yeah.
There's no getting around that. There is no getting around that. That's insane, dude. And you have Sean Payton. Sean Payton, I've always said, we talked about this before. I think Sean Payton's overrated. I think Sean Payton and Mike McCarthy are the same guy. Sean Payton's been beloved because he had Drew Brees. Mike McCarthy gets shit on. He won a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers just the same way that Sean Payton won it with Drew Brees.
Yeah.
They're the same fucking coach.
Yeah, you know what's funny? Sean Payton is the second highest coach.
What, paid?
Yeah. Second highest paid coach in the league is Sean Payton. That's insane, dog. I think, like, for that number to be, I mean, he's getting $18 million a year.
So stupid.
Like, to me, like, why?
You can't fix washed.
Is he selling? Is it the name?
Yes. And that's what I'm talking about. He's just a name.
Hey, man.
Tell me why.
He needs to, no. Fuck that. Sean Payton needs to start sending Drew Brees some checks. That's what he's going to have to do. Start cashing them to the Breeze residents.
Bro, tell me why Sean Payton is better than Mike McCarthy.
I mean, they all have the
same coach.
They got a Super Bowl each with a legendary quarterback.
It's the same coach.
That's fair.
But Mike McCarthy gets shit on and Sean Payton gets praised.
Well, Mike McCarthy's on the Cowboys. He's coaching the Dallas Cowboys, America's team. Of course he's going to get shit on. Like, I understand.
They're winning 12 games a year.
I get it. I understand that. But that's my point. You're winning 12 games a year and you're still getting shit on. Think about that, because the spotlight's on you.
Well, it's also because they stink in the playoffs, but that's not
true.
Here's the thing. McCarthy does have his flaws with clock management.
Well, Sean Payton's record in the last, however, playoff games is below 500.
Didn't Sean Payton get eliminated by Kirk Cousins and Kirk Cousins' only playoff win?
I think so.
It was Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
So it's like, what has Sean Payton done? What has Sean Payton done? I get it, bro. You were good with Drew Brees. You won the Super Bowl. Okay.
I'm trying to find his playoff record.
Who?
After the Super Bowl win.
Oh yeah, Mark, that's a great point. They did. They gave up a first-round pick for Sean Payton.
They did. Shit.
I forgot about that. That's even crazier.
That is crazy.
$18 million a year, and they gave the first-round pick to the Saints.
Yeah.
Mickey Loomis. That's a great point. That's wild.
Wow, that is actually kind of crazy.
The Broncos are in hell.
Yeah, but
if the Broncos are smart, they would tank, not win a game this year, and get Caleb Williams, because Caleb Williams isn't going to cost much, and you could absorb the dead cat hit by getting rid of Russell Wilson and just putting Caleb Williams in there.
Well, the reason why I have him at number 2 is because Sean Payton is a better coach than Daboll. I would take Sean Payton over Daboll. Sure. No doubt about it. That's why I have him number 2. And I think Russell Wilson, right now, he's playing better than Daniel Jones.
Russell Wilson, surprisingly, hasn't been.
He's actually been all right. I think it's the Broncos' defense more than anything that's been the biggest letdown. I think their offense has sputtered at the worst moments at times in the game where they needed to score and they just couldn't convert. So obviously, like, I feel like there is some improvements there that could be made on the offensive end, but they're not the reason why they're losing football games. It's the defense. So to me, it's like, Russell Wilson actually hasn't played that bad. So, in reality, I would say, like, they would be number 2 just based on the production versus the amount of money they're spending on these players too. When you're paying Russell Wilson $45 million and you're paying Sean Payton $18 million, I mean, you're $63 million deep and you're getting what, 5 wins? The fuck is that?
They'll be lucky to get 5 wins.
I mean, a head coach and a quarterback, when you pay them that much money, they should be at least 70% of your team. Like they got to be the engine. They got to be they got to be the entire thing. Like when we say Belichick and Brady, you get Manning and Dungy, like we talk about Roethlisberger and Tomlin. Like there's a reason why they've been successful. It's the relationship, it's the camaraderie.
McNabb,
yeah,
North
right.
Turner and what's his face?
That's important.
Phil
I think that's important. Man.
It was North Turner with Phil Rivers, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it's important, man. I just really do. Oh, and Schottenheimer was there for a couple of years with Rivers.
Yeah. So it's like Sean Payton was hired because they thought that he was just going to turn around Russ. And it's like, but the reason I love this so much is because he made all those comments. This is the worst run team I've ever seen. All that shit he was talking about Matt Hackett.
Yeah, that's kind of that's ironic.
Matt Hackett didn't have 70 hung on him. He didn't lose by 50 in his first 4 games.
That's a fact.
He might not know when to call a timeout to kick a field goal, but he wasn't losing by 50. So, and then like the Raiders, they're okay. They have their picks. They're ass. They could get a quarterback. The Cardinals, same thing. I mean, the Cardinals, the problem is what do you do with Kyler? Somebody will bite. Now I feel bad for them because whoever bites at Kyler is just going to be making a big mistake, and they're going to be taking on a ridiculous contract for a mid-level player who has a lot of hype around them that can't live up to it because he's very mid. And then you have the Bears. You're not tied to Fields.
Right.
You can get off of Fields easy.
You got a first-round pick from trading with Carolina.
So you're going to have two. The Bears are actually in great shape.
That's what. Yeah, I think they're the best shape out of everybody because they didn't pay Fields yet. They're not tied to him yet. However, I will say is that who are we talking about? The Cardinals. The reason why I have them at number 3 is because who would I rather have, Kyler Murray or Daniel Jones? I would take Kyler Murray. So, to me, do they have a problem? Yes, because of how much they paid the quarterback versus the production they're getting out, the output.
Yeah.
But Kyler Murray, to me, he's a middle of the pack kind of quarterback. I think he can be okay. I think he can win football games. Can he win Super Bowls? No. But can he win football games? Can he get you to the playoffs? I think he can get you to the playoffs. I think he's kind of that quarterback that can get you there. He's done it, right? He hasn't been. He sputtered down, down the season, but it doesn't make him a bad quarterback.
No, he's right around the 20 level.
Yeah, but if I would be comfortable over him over Daniel Jones. So to me, I don't know, Arizona. Cool. And I think they've been playing some inspired football, since the start of the season. So to me, the Giants, if anything, they have looked uninspired. They spent a 3rd-round pick on Waller. Saquon's a free agent next year. You got a quarterback that's very expensive, and he's not doing much for you. And your offensive line is really, really, it's absolutely awful. But we could blame Daniel Jones all we want, but we can't sit here and bullshit that the offensive line.
Oh no,
it's he doesn't have a chance.
But here's my
that's the hard part.
This is what I have a problem with though. Show some self-awareness. You wanted $47 million.
I agree with you.
Don't take the 30 that you're barely worth because you're a regular degular. 15 touchdown. You already have.
Well, you got to get players that want to come to New York as well.
But you can if you get some money at them. If you throw some money at them.
True.
And get your offensive line, get a wide receiver. I mean, their last wide receiver they signed was Kenny Golladay.
True.
Dog shit. And it's like when you see whatchamacallit, he already has more interceptions than he had last year. He's already fumbling like he was before Dable got there. He's on pace again to throw 15 touchdowns because that's what he does. He throws maybe a touchdown a game, less than a touchdown a game because he's not a very good quarterback.
Yeah, he's extremely bad.
He's very mid.
Yeah.
And mid is putting it politely. He's getting paid $47 million and he's in the bottom 5 quarterbacks.
He's not a very good quarterback, but I will say it hasn't been 100% his fault.
And it's organizational.
I'll be real with that.
The organization is in disarray.
The organization has completely failed him. When you take him that high and you shock the world in taking him, you should get him some weapons.
Bro,
you should get him some offensive line. You should give him something that can help this kid instead of trashing him or making it harder for him, especially in New York media. When he fails, they're going to come at his neck the entire time. You got to protect your guy at all costs. This is an investment. When you spend that draft pick, that high of a draft pick on Daniel Jones, now you have completely invested a lot into this kid. You should protect him at all costs. They haven't done that.
But here's the thing with that, bro. They had the opportunity because they didn't pick up his 5th-year option because they weren't sure of him. So instead of giving him a 47 million, a 4-year contract worth 160 million, you franchise tag him. You give Saquon Barkley 13 or 14 million that he wanted. You keep Saquon happy, which is the best player on your team and your best skill player on offense. You give Daniel Jones that franchise tag. You've got him. You can get out of him after a year if he doesn't perform on that franchise tag. He's not going to sit out. Nobody was beating down the door for Daniel Jones. I mean, let's be real here. And then you could have signed other people because you weren't going to have all that cap hit.
Fair.
The Giants are a joke.
Yeah.
Here I got
they're the worst. They're the worst out of all of them.
Let's stay in the NFC East. Moving forward, you would take Dak Prescott and you would take Jalen Hurts over him. Right now, you cannot definitively say that you would take Daniel Jones over Sam Howell.
I'm taking Sam Howell.
And it's only been
4 games.
Sam
Howell. I like Sam Howell. I like him. I saw him in the preseason. I think the kid could play, and it's looking like it's translating in a regular season. Sam Howell looks good. Looks like a good quarterback.
Did you see the drive that he put together?
Excellent.
10 plays.
Excellent.
With no timeouts.
That's a rookie.
That's good shit. That's good for Sam Howell.
Yeah.
Do you think
it's a rookie? To me, it's his rookie year. This is his first year playing.
It is. I know.
I consider that rookie. If you're gonna call it in the NBA, he's a rookie. Then I can call it in the NFL as a rookie. Fuck out of here.
It's his first year. But he has the Commanders low key looking like a frisky playoff team. Do you think that they can make the playoffs?
I don't think they're making the playoffs. I think they can if Sam Howell can keep it up and he can elevate his game a little bit more. I think they can because I think they can get some good quality play out of Brian Robinson and Gibson in the backfield
right now.
But yeah, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I didn't have him in my playoffs, but they are a solid team. They're up and coming. I'll tell you that.
They're not going to make the playoffs. They're going to be an annoying spoiler team when it gets later in the year.
Yeah.
Like when Dallas plays them in week 17, like in the division games, they're going to be tough. They always play the Eagles tough because the Eagles barely escaped.
It's a divisional game. They always play tough like that. I know. Though. That's just the way it goes.
And it's funny because like we were talking about it because we were watching the game in AC and we were saying like, are we concerned? And I'm like, there's a part of me that's like, I'm waiting for them to pop. But then there's the other part of me where it's like they're 4-0. It was a division game. You still won the game. You came back when you were down. And here's the thing. I would rather Jalen Hurts have this adversity right now. Play from behind. Play with pressure. Learn all those things. Last year, they were always leading. Now you're watching Jalen Hurts have to make timely throws, make them when they count, play from behind, play in high-pressure situations. Now, I know the playoffs, the conference championship game, the Super Bowl, I know that those are pressure games. But like when you're trailing and stuff like that, like these are all good moments for a quarterback who's still young. It's his third year.
I agree. Am I concerned? No. Am I optimistically cautious? Yes. I'm a little worried. I'm not there. I'm not concerned to the point where I'm like, all right, what's going on? But like you said, the Commanders, it's division game. I expect it to always be tough. I don't care what their records say. You could throw them out. Anytime it's a divisional game, it's going to be tough regardless. At Washington, they came in there and they played a good football game, but the better team won in the end because the better teams make the plays when it matters the most. And that's what the Jalen Hurts did. Look, Washington did a good job stopping the run, forcing Jalen Hurts to make big plays when it mattered. And you saw what A.J. Brown did. He had 2 big touchdown plays, and when it mattered the most, when we were down. And that's the plays that I expect the Eagles to make. So the fact that they made those plays when it mattered, that gives me like a lot more hope than what the final result was on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Regardless of what we thought. You know what I mean? We're looking at this line like, 7.5. The Eagles are going to smoke them. But the fact that the Eagles could have lost this game, it's just the fact that the Eagles could have lost this game kind of like makes the score, worth more than what it really is, in my opinion. Yeah, because I actually think like you could take a lot of good things from this game from the Eagles. aspect.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like
AJ Brown got going, two big deep touchdowns.
Yeah, like I think there's a lot of good things that happened in the game. Were they perfect? No, they didn't have to be. But now you know that the Eagles can win a game through the air because the run game wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
Swift, that was probably Swift's worst game as an Eagle, right? You can argue.
He's so good.
What if we have 14 carries for 58 yards? What is that? Maybe three yards a carry, 4 yards a carry. I mean, it wasn't Swift like he was in the last couple of weeks, but again, the offense stopped. Yeah, the offense stepped up, and AJ Brown made the plays. I mean, he had 140 some yards.
And I will say this because I just traded Goddard. He's not going to be very fantasy relevant this year.
No, he's
the fourth option with the emergence of Swift.
He's like the 32nd ranked offense.
He's just not it. And it sucks but here's the thing. He will have his spots and opportunities to come up big. But as far from a fantasy perspective, I just don't see it.
Nah,
he doesn't have the opportunities that he had last year. I
don't think he has the burst to him.
It's that, and I think with AJ and Smitty, you have two legit ones.
Yeah.
Who command.
He doesn't have to do all that. Yeah.
They command 8 to 10 targets a game each. So that's just how that goes. Switching to the Bills versus the Dolphins. Bills hang 48 on them. 48 to 20. I told you this was my iconic lock of the week. I love this game. Dolphins put up 70 points, won by 50, smelling themselves a little too bit. Perfect time to fall down to a divisional opponent who's ready. Do you think it's more? Do you think this win said more about the Dolphins or more about the Bills?
I think the Bills showed everybody in the world that the AFC East is still ours. Like I think they said that's cool. I know the Dolphins scored 70, but this is our division. And that's exactly what they did. They put a beat down on the Dolphins. They won by 4 touchdowns. And I think they sent a message around the league because now I think a lot of people are looking at the Buffalo Bills like, damn, all right, they're back. Because I think there was a lot of doubts in the offseason about the Bills, especially on my side. Definitely. I was kind of like a little iffy on them. I know you are too. I think you were down on the Bills as well. So, but I think they showed a lot of people like, yo, they're still here. Like they're still relevant. So, I think they sent a message on Sunday.
Me too. The Bills took it personal.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they want. They planted their flag and said, like, this is still our division. All the turmoil in the offseason, how we ended this season last year, that's cool.
Yeah.
But the AFC East stays in Buffalo.
Yep.
And that's period, end of story. And I think that people were starting to shift a little bit towards the Dolphins because the Dolphins got off so hot. Shootout with Tua versus Justin Herbert. They beat the Chargers.
Yep.
Then they beat the Patriots in a slugfest. Then they go and they beat Denver by 50. And I think the Bills were low-key watching that. And they're like, all right, we're about to show you guys what it is. But Josh Allen owns the Dolphins. He's 10-1 against them. He owns the Patriots. He owns the Jets. Josh Allen, the way he owns them, it's like Tom Brady owning the Bills, the Jets.
The Bills back in the day, yeah.
That's how it was.
That record's insane. I think Brady's like 35-2 or something like that. It's insane. Or 35-3 or
35-2 against the division.
It's something like that. It's fucking crazy. But
what did that game tell you about Josh, your baby?
It didn't tell me anything. That's what I expect from Josh Allen. Like this guy would be labeled the best quarterback in the world if he was accomplished. That's it. If he had MVPs attached to his resume, if he made a Super Bowl appearance, I think a lot of people would argue that he's the best quarterback in the game.
Oh my God.
I think you can make a fair case and argument.
If he won a Super Bowl,
if
he got to one.
Absolutely. If he won a Super Bowl or got to one, I think you can make a compelling case.
I agree. I'll give you that.
Because just because you didn't win the Super Bowl, that doesn't make you a top tier quarterback. You know what I mean? Like Dan Marino never won a Super Bowl. What are they going to say about him? Everybody calls him one of the top 5 best of all time. But without a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Right? So like, why does it matter for him? You can't move the goalposts for that. No, well, that
was me. That's why I always say, like, I didn't see Dan Marino like that. I was 10 years old.
Right.
But
what I'm saying is, but the talent was there. I mean, dude, 84%. This is efficiency. 21 of 25, 320 yards, 84% completions, 4 touchdowns. He had a perfect rating, 158.3.
You know what this tells me about?
He had a perfect rating and blew this fucking team out. The team that just scored 70 points the week before. But I knew this was going to happen with the Dolphins because when you score 70 points, you're due for a letdown, bro. Like you just completely smoke somebody in their own crib for 70. I just didn't expect the Dolphins to put up 40 or more in this game.
No way.
I thought it would be a slugfest. We talked about this, but
you know what it told me about Josh Allen? It told me what I already knew. When Josh Allen is at his best, he's the second best quarterback in the game.
He's a baller.
But the problem with Josh Allen is you don't know if you're getting that Josh Allen or if you're getting the Jets Josh Allen.
He's the second best.
That is the true problem. He's the third best, and that's okay.
No way. No way.
No, he's actually the fourth best because he's not better because he ain't better than Hurts.
You're crazy.
Josh Allen ain't better than Hurts.
You don't think so?
No, I would take Jalen Hurts.
I think Eagles fans would take Josh Allen.
Jalen Hurts protects the ball better. He don't have a stronger arm, but he could run just as well at him. He's a better decision maker. He doesn't make as many stupid mistakes. Yeah. He's already made a Super Bowl.
Hey, yeah, let's have a conversation right now.
Let's have a conversation.
You put Josh Allen on the Eagles offense, bro. This team won't probably lose a game.
They would be the same team as the.
No. Like I think AJ Brown's would be like a certified top 3. Fantasy wide receiver.
First of all,
certified.
First of all,
like certified. Josh Allen on this Eagles offense is fucking bananas.
So you're saying you don't think they would lose a game
with Josh Allen?
Yeah, because in Jalen Hurts' last 23 starts, he's 22-1.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's fair.
So basically, you don't lose the game.
I think
so. Back up.
No, I think Josh Allen on the Eagles.
Get your elbows off the table.
Listen. Josh Allen on the Eagles,
they would be the same team.
They would be a lot more lethal. They might put up some more
gaudy numbers, but they would also.
Oh yeah, that's what I think.
But they would also lose a lot more close games because they don't have a better decision maker.
Maybe.
No, for sure.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know because what if Josh Allen was coached by Steichen? Steichen's all right. He's a good coach.
Well, you saw Josh.
He's looking pretty good with the Colts, bro.
Well, he did have that with Brian.
Looking all right with the Colts. I gotta be real.
I told you that. Steichen, he made Justin Herbert
You're right,
great.
Man.
He made Jalen Hurts great. Now Jalen Hurts,
good coach.
Jalen Hurts is doing great. Jalen Hurts is doing good this year. He's just not lighting it up like he was last year, and that's okay. He's winning games. His stats are fine. He threw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns last week. What more do you want? Or 2 touchdowns. So
no, he really is the second best quarterback in the game, though.
Josh Allen, you can make the argument. I wouldn't put him there. I don't think he has enough to warrant that, and he's still too inconsistent for me. I think right now I would say that he's the 4th best. I think it's Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, and then you could argue at 3. I would personally take Josh Allen.
Bro, if Josh Allen was playing as bad as Joe Burrow right now, you would be crushing shit out of Josh Allen.
Not if he was hurt.
You would have a fucking field day all pod about Josh Allen. You bring up Josh Allen, you laugh. You talk about Josh Allen, you would crush him, you would crucify him.
Okay, Nikki, hold on.
You would absolutely bury this man.
Hold on.
But Joe Burrow.
I'm about to bury you.
Joe Burrow doesn't pass for over 100 yards, and you didn't say a fucking word.
I told you that after week 1.
I know, but what I'm saying is.
But here's the thing. Joe Burrow is hurt, and he still has less turnovers than Josh Allen.
Josh Allen was hurt last year, too.
I mean.
That's what they told me. He was hurt.
What did he hurt? Was it his elbow?
His elbow, yeah.
It was his elbow?
Okay.
I mean, I couldn't tell because he was still throwing.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
But I feel like with Joe Burrow, for me, Joe Burrow is better from the pocket. He's a better decision maker. He's more accurate, and his arm's just as strong.
But we're not seeing it now.
We're not seeing it right now because he's legitimately hurt, and his offensive line is terrible. He has the worst offensive line in football, which, again, I don't understand what the Bengals are doing because every year they sign an offensive lineman, and he goes there, and he's horrible.
And they're horrible. I know.
So, but
it's weird, right?
Well, to stay with
that's got to be coaching.
Yeah, let's stay with Joe Burrow and the Bengals because they got smoked.
Yeah,
27-3.
Let's stay with them.
I'm concerned about Joe Burrow.
Yep.
I'm concerned about Zach Taylor.
They stink.
I'm concerned about the O-line. I'm concerned about the Bengals as a whole. They're 1-3. They're playing Arizona this week, and they're a 3-point favorite. That's it, or 2.5-point favorite against Arizona. They could really mess around and lose that game.
They're going to fuck around and lose that game. You know that, right?
I'm genuinely concerned because I don't know, and here's the thing. I know people are making jokes oh, Joe Burrow got paid. I really don't think it's that. I think he's hurt and he can't get out of Dodge with his poor offensive line, but Joe Mixon looks terrible. Jamar Chase, he's Jamar Chase, but T. Higgins looks like shit.
Yeah.
Tyler Boyd is bad. Jamar Chase hasn't lived up to his standards.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what's going on with them. I really don't.
Can we talk about this team though, real quick? The Tennessee Titans. I mean, I don't know what to make of this team. This team confuses me. They lose week 1 by 1 point to the Saints, right? On the road. Then they beat the Chargers at home. Then they get smoked by the Browns last week by 24. 27-3. It was the final score in Cleveland. And then they turn around and they mollywop the fuck out of the Bengals 27-3. You want to talk about a roller coaster of a team? The Tennessee Titans are the definition. I don't know what to make of this team. I don't know. Is this an indication on the Bengals? Or is the Titans like legit? You know what I mean? Because their wins are against the Bengals and the Chargers. Their losses are against the Browns and the Saints. Makes you want to scratch your head a little bit, right? But they've had a tough schedule, and I think going 2-2 at that stretch for the Titans is pretty good. So to me, it's like I don't know how to measure this team. But the Bengals, when I watch them, they fucking stink.
They really do.
They have no big playability. That was what their offense was the last couple of years. They were near the top of the league at big plays. I don't see that with Jamar Chase. Doesn't look like he has much room to move. I don't see the big plays anymore. I mean, T. Higgins, I know he got hurt, but he hasn't been, non-existent.
Really
Joe
bad,
Mixon,
dude.
I mean, what about him?
Got the fork in him.
I just feel like, there's
bro.
too much. I feel like there's too much firepower on this offense for them to be what they are right now. And not for nothing, I know we talked about the Bengals offensive line. Joe Burrow's only been sacked 8 times this year so far, 2 a game.
Yeah,
I know.
not bad.
That's actually not that bad.
He's just getting hurried.
He shouldn't be sacked that many times in general, because when you pay a quarterback that much, you should be protecting him at all costs because that's your highest investment. But I don't want to get into that conversation. But 8 times this year is actually not that bad. I mean, considering when he went to the playoffs, he got sacked like 7 times in one game. Or 9 times in one game.
In the Super Bowl,
so
8 times.
So 8 times in 4 games is not that bad. So we could talk about the offensive line. I just think it's the lack of execution for the Bengals. Lack of execution. I mean, we were talking about it when T. Higgins ran a comeback route and Joe Burrow threw it right in his chest and they caught the ball for 9 yards and a first down. I was like, wow, that was like rare to see. That's what they're missing. That's what I'm used to seeing. They lack it during the game, consistency throughout the game, and it's a struggle right now. I don't know how they fix it, honestly.
I don't know what to make of the Titans.
I don't know,
because like you said, my thing is you draft Will Levis. Are you just going to play Ryan Tannehill and go 8 and 9 and have a middle order pack pick, or do you go to Will Levis and see what he's got? Because you messed up last year spending a second round on Malik Willis. And then they're saying Malik Willis outperformed Will Levis in camp, but Will Levis is the backup. And it's like with the Bengals, the Titans, they're always just a tough out. Derrick Henry got going, but it's like, okay, is that just because the Bengals are some shit? Or is that because Derrick Henry got going again? Because I don't know what to make of either of these teams right now.
That's what I'm saying. It's like confusing.
Is this who the Bengals are? Are the Bengals just going to have a down year because Burrow's hurt? They have offensive line problems and something's going on in the locker room? Maybe. I don't know. I think we'll find out over the next 4 or 5 weeks. And then with the Titans, it's like, what direction is the franchise going? Are you getting younger, or are you staying with Ryan Tannehill and Derrick Henry and Treylon Burks and D-Hop? D-Hop's not doing anything. Treylon Burks is hurt again.
Spears is a good player.
He is.
I might have slept on him a little bit, but you still got to feed Derrick Henry when you have the opportunity, and that's the result you get. 27-3 mollywop over the Bengals.
You want to talk about a mollywop?
That's what you get, bro.
You want to talk about a mollywop?
Yeah, I want to talk about it.
Cowboys.
Yep.
Mollywop the Patriots 38-3.
Expected.
Oh my God.
Expected, bro.
Really? With the greatest coach of all time?
Absolutely.
How could that happen?
How
could that happen with the greatest coach of all time? How does that happen?
It's a clear mismatch, bro. Like with this defense against the Patriots offense, it's literally night and day.
That's what I make of the Cowboys season.
That was literally like what the name of the game was. The Cowboys offense didn't have to do much.
Regular.
It was honestly the Cowboys defense that put them up in good positions for them to score. So to me, that was the name of the game. The Cowboys defense is the top 3. It's a top 3 unit. And when you put the Patriots, they're probably middle of the 20th.
What?
Offense?
It might be bottom 3
Maybe,
offense, bro.
I don't think they're a bottom 3 offense. Because I don't think they have a bottom 3 quarterback. I don't think they have bottom 3 weapons. Maybe
They have bottom 3 weapons, bro. Kendrick Bourne?
Maybe it's arguable. Right? But all right, you put them in the bottom of the pack. But for me, that's the mismatch. So like that was the name of the game, and that's what the result was: 38-3. Mac Jones got picked off a couple times, and and pick 6. So yeah, like they dominated and on all fronts. That's what you get with the Cowboys defense. This team they're legit, man. This defense is for real. So yeah, that's what you get. 38-3 mollywop. I mean, you picked the Patriots.
I did pick the Patriots because I thought that it would be a coaching mismatch. I thought Bill Belichick would have something up his sleeve for Mike McCarthy, and I was dead wrong. Because Mac Jones stunk. I knew it. You knew that it was over in the first quarter.
But he doesn't stink.
Who?
Mac. He stunk, but he doesn't stink.
Okay. I know what you're saying. Yeah, I agree. He stunk, but he doesn't stink.
Yeah.
Mac Jones is just in a bad situation. But for me, this Cowboys win, this is what the Cowboys do.
Yeah.
They show games like this where you're like, yo, this team is really good and they could beat anybody in the league. And then they give you games against the Cardinals where you look at them and you're like, I can't trust this team. Mac Jones, they made Mac Jones get benched for Bailey Zapp again.
The Patriots offense is getting worse, though, as the weeks progress.
It is. It is, absolutely. And it might get even worse because do you think Mac Jones could get benched?
Well, Mac Jones against the Eagles threw for 316 yards. Against the Dolphins, he threw for 231 yards. Against the Jets, he threw for 201 yards. And then against the Cowboys, he threw for 150 with 2 picks. So he's been plummeting since week 1. So I know their schedule has been brutal, and they played some really good teams. They played the Eagles, the Dolphins, the Jets, and the Cowboys. I get it. Like, their schedule has been a gauntlet, to say the least. And Mac Jones doesn't have a number 1 wide receiver, in fairness. But this offense hasn't improved at all. Like, I don't know what's going on. I mean, they signed Juju Juju for 3 years, $33 million, and he has been nothing for that team. That's a waste of money.
It was a total waste between him and Devontae Parker.
Devontae Parker. I don't understand when it comes to wide receivers in New England. I actually like they are absolutely fucking stupid as hell. I want to say something worse than that, but like they are really dumb as shit. They are absolutely dumb. And I don't understand how you can go into the season with Juju and Devontae Parker making $33 million and Devontae Parker making $11 million a year. Like, to me, it doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't know how do you feel comfortable?
I'm so glad. Earlier, you did something to me. You did player A, player B.
Yeah.
And I actually have one planned for you.
Oh, that's awesome. This is good.
So who would you rather have under center? Okay. Player A, 71% completion percentage, 908 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, 96 rating. Player B, 70% completion percentage, 882 yards passing, 7 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 102 rating.
I will probably take player B.
Mm-hmm. You know who that is?
Who's that?
The Bake Show.
Is it?
Baker Mayfield stats this year.
Wow. Versus who?
Dak Prescott.
Interesting.
Baker Mayfield's been a little bit better than Dak.
How many passing yards? Oh wait, how many passing yards?
Dak has 908. Baker has 882, and that was because when he played the Eagles, he got throttled.
Okay,
but I got one even better for you. You want to hear this one?
Yeah. So
you just heard Baker's. Oh no, wait. I'll wait on this because we're going to get to this guy soon. We'll talk about him.
Okay.
But yeah, that's Baker Mayfield.
Okay. All right. That's
Baker
crazy.
Mayfield's playing great this year.
He's playing pretty good ball.
Yeah, I don't want to say great, but he's playing really good.
I don't think he's playing great. I think he's playing competent.
He's playing to the point where he'll be a starter next year.
I think he's playing himself extra years into the league.
Correct. Yeah.
He's buying himself some time.
You know who's not buying himself any time because he's on the hot seat? Billy. Bill Belichick.
You think so?
I think he's on the hot seat, brother. I said this before the season. I said he was top 5 on the hot seat.
Why would he be in the hot seat, though?
Bro, this team is ass, and he's the GM of it. He constructed it. This team is ass. And here you go again. Christian Gonzalez goes out.
He's
trade for,
bro.
I know, but hear me out.
Good player. That's a shame.
Christian Gonzalez goes out, and what do? You immediately go get J.C. Jackson, who's familiar with the system.
That's a great trade.
It is.
That's a fire.
That
is like a textbook Belichick trade.
And it's just like he's like the new Patrick Chung. Patrick Chung is ass on every team. He goes to the Patriots. He's Darrelle Revis.
He went to the Eagles and was garbage, then went to the Patriots and was a Pro Bowler.
Yeah, but whatever. Your offense is struggling. You're not going out trying to get a pass catcher for Mac Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Well, when you have an opportunity to go get J.C. Jackson, that's the perfect opportunity to go.
J.C. Jackson was a fucking healthy scratch.
Yeah, I know, but he's a buy low candidate because he already got his guaranteed money, right? So now
the Chargers are paying $12 million this year.
They already paid his signing bonus. So what's Bill going to do? He's going to get him for cheap. He's going to get him on his contract, and then he's going to move forward. Like, he's already been familiar with the system. They lost Christian Gonzalez. He could fill right in, and boom, you already fixed the hole. So to me, like, I don't mind it. I think it was a brilliant trade, and I understand the lack of weapons right now. But like, who's out there that you could trade for? Like, who's available? Chase Claypool? Give me a fucking break.
He'd be better than what they got.
I don't think so. I honestly don't think so.
You know how I feel about Chase Claypool, but I would take Chase Claypool over Kendrick Bourne.
Absolutely, I would not. I would take Kendrick Bourne over Chase Claypool any day of the week.
Yeah, I might actually be on.
It really ain't close.
Yeah, I can't even say that.
Like, Chase Claypool is not even good enough to start on the Patriots.
He's not even good enough to start on the Bears. That's what
I'm saying.
He's inactive. But I do think Bill Belichick's on the hot seat, like FR.
I don't think he is, but he could be if they lose the way they are losing, like 38-3. That was his worst loss ever. That's kind of crazy.
I love it.
That's actually kind of I don't love it because
he deserves it.
No,
throwing his flag when the dude's trying to challenge a play. He's throwing the flag, and I'm laughing at it, but that's disrespectful, bro. You're at your profession.
No, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with Billy. I honestly, like, he's in a weird situation because if he goes somewhere else, like, is he too old to start somewhere new?
Yeah, bro. I think Highland's hiring.
That's insane. Now, see, like, you're being just wild disrespectful.
No, I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm treating him the way
you're not. No. You shouldn't treat a legend like that.
Oh, you know why?
Legend, you know why? Island, it's insane.
Because when Bill Belichick's on his high horse, he could treat the media like shit and all the people just doing their job. But now that he's having some down years, we can't treat him like shit. Sorry.
No. Sorry. I don't think anybody is like. He's going to be himself regardless of the situation. I don't think it's going to matter.
Bill, what do you think about this? Seattle.
Yeah, that's what he was.
So what do you think about the game plan? Seattle.
Because he doesn't want to talk to you.
Disrespectful.
Seattle.
Answer the question. They're doing their job.
And guess what? Did it work?
That had nothing to do with them beating Seattle.
Did it work?
That had nothing to do. No, it didn't. It had nothing to do with it.
All right, let me ask you a question. When he goes to the media and says, we're on to Cincinnati.
Yeah.
We're on to Cincinnati.
They were on to Cincinnati.
And what happened? They fucking destroyed the Bengals after getting throttled by the Kansas City Chiefs and went on to win the Super Bowl with what?
Was he under 500 as a coach before Tom Brady?
All right, but we're talking. I'm telling you,
under 500 as a head coach after Tom Brady.
You dodged the question.
No, I didn't.
Did it work? We're on to Cincinnati, Seattle. Yeah. Did it work?
That has nothing to do with them winning. No,
absolutely it worked.
So him going up there saying,
absolutely it worked.
We're on to Cincinnati. That was the reason that they turned that around and won the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah. It starts right there. It starts with the head coach. He sent a message. Yo, we're on to Cincinnati. That game don't mean anything. We're on to Cincinnati.
Bro, please stop going.
We're on to Cincinnati. Solutions. And guess what? The next week, they destroyed the Bengals. Why? Because they were on to Cincinnati.
Oh, my God.
That's why. And when he said, hey, I'm just focused on Seattle. So when they said, hell yeah, is Tom Brady, blah, 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 Seattle. Yeah, we're focused on Seattle. It send a message throughout the entire locker room because obviously it's going to get floating around the media. His players are going to see that. They're going to know that he did that. They're going to know that he's focused on Seattle. So that's where their focus is.
I can't take you serious because I think you're trolling.
I'm being dead ass serious.
There's no way you actually believe that.
I believe that actually sent a message in his locker room when he said Seattle. Yes, when he says we're on to Cincinnati 100 times in the presser, I think it resonated in the locker room where it was, okay, we played like shit against the Chiefs that game. We're going to throw that game out, and now we're on to Cincinnati. That's the message that I'm sending to the team. The team took it, and guess what? Ironically enough, they won both games, right? Ironically enough, they won both games. And important games. This is episode 176. This might be real, dog.
The worst take segment I've ever heard.
That's just real shit.
I cannot believe you are actually saying that with a straight face. That him going up there and acting like a petulant child to the media was the reason that That season was turned around.
He sent a message to his team. That's the reason that's the
Send
focus.
a message to your team in the locker room.
We're on to Cincinnati.
Don't berate and belittle a reporter doing their job.
We're on to Cincinnati.
That's the problem I have with them.
We're on to Cincinnati.
See, and you're being wild disrespectful to me right now.
And guess what? Seattle. He Seattled them because guess what? They were focused on Seattle because why? Because all the scandal came out about the Deflategate. So what he was trying to do is, I don't care about that. We're focused on Seattle.
He's a cheater.
We're focused on Seattle.
He's a cheater.
So that's what he was trying to do. He was sending a message to his team. Yo, we're focused on Seattle. The outside noise, I don't care about.
That's not that. That's called deflecting.
No, it's not.
That's deflecting.
It's not.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
It's a fucking fact.
Yeah. All right. You know what else is a fucking fact? We're going to talk about sticks and seeds of the week. Two trash-ass teams, the Bears and the Broncos. Broncos come back to win 31-28. I live bet them. The Broncos down 28-21. That was fun. Even though I cashed out early because I was sweet. Do you think the Broncos won or did the Bears lose?
I think the Bears lost. I don't know how they lost this game. I mean, they were up 28-7, right?
28-14. No, wait, it was 28-7.
They were up 28-7, and they were home against Russell Wilson, Sean Payton, like an offense that wasn't clicking at all. So, like, I'm confused of how they lost. Like, honestly, like Justin Fields, I thought he played pretty well. First half, he was excellent. He looked like he was like Justin Fields of last year.
Justin Fields actually looks good tonight. 10 of 15, 179 yards and 2 tutties.
Yeah, I mean, they just had a second half collapse, honestly. But yeah, no, I think the Bears lost.
The Bears lost it, and then like you go for it on that fourth down, kick the field goal, bro. Mm-hmm. It's Justin Fields. Like I'm not like Justin Fields ain't him right now.
Yeah,
he's they them. So like you have to kick the field goal, get him the lead, and get your defense on the field. Like it's Russell Wilson. He's not cooking either.
Yep.
So I don't know, man. I don't know. That game was just like an actual battle of the buttest. Mm-hmm. It really was. Who do you put the blame on? Do you put it on Justin Fields or do you put it on the coaching staff? Because for me, it's the coaching staff.
Oh, absolutely. When you have a lead like that,
you can't blow that lead.
You can't blow. You're at home.
You got Khalil Herbert, 18 carries for 103 yards.
I mean, yeah, especially when your season's on the line at that point. I mean, you're 0-3, trying to get a win. You finally have a lead, a 3-touchdown lead at home. What more do you want? That's the kind of game that you got to win there. So, to me, that's where like Fields got to mature a little bit and take the plays when they're necessarily there. And, like the check downs and stuff, like take what the defense gives you at that point and keep yourself and your offense on the field and to not allow the other team to kind of play the comeback role, because all they needed was one score to have belief, because a two touchdown deficit in today's NFL actually isn't shit. Nothing. Because it's a passing league now. So everything was designed for down the field from, majority of the plays. So like to me, it's like a two touchdown lead isn't really much anymore like it used to be. So plus you can't play defense.
Yeah,
like you can't play any fucking defense.
I know.
So obviously like no lead is safe anymore. So yeah, that's how
do you think that the Sean Payton and Russell Wilson, do you think that like this experiment, I guess you could call it, can turn around now, or do you think it's already over?
I think it could turn around. I don't think it's going to happen this year. I just don't think their defense is adequate enough.
What happened to that defense, dude?
I honestly don't know. They were like a top 10 defense, top 5 arguable defense last year, and then this year, they had high hopes coming into the season, and I honestly don't know. I mean, to give up 70 points and then to get throttled in the first half by the Bears was also an eye opener too. It's like, damn, like they didn't fix anything. So like they're just a bad team right now.
Yeah, I don't think that this experiment's not going to work.
No.
Just period. Like this comeback win, like, all right, it was cool, but you were down by 21 points to a team that is arguably the worst team in the league, or at the time was playing like the worst team in the league.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't have been down that game. So they scored 27 points to their opponent's 98.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing. And it's unacceptable. If I'm the owner of the Broncos, I'm looking at both of them like, yo, what are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking Sean Payton's office away, or I'm putting him and Russ in an office in the basement. Let's preview week 4 now, because I had enough. I'm done talking about
week 5 was a typo.
What happened?
It's week 5.
Yeah, you're.
Oh, my bad.
Yo, ain't
my
that
bad.
crazy? Like, yo, I can't believe it's week 5.
I know.
Like, it's week 5,
It's
man.
the best, dude.
I know it's the best, but it's going by a little too fast for me, I think.
I know. I want it to rain, though, every Sunday because I just want to lay on the couch, give the baby his bottle, and watch football. And get bitched at by Allie because I'm not moving off the couch.
Yeah, there's nothing better than that.
It's amazing. I can't forget the sour either.
Can't forget this.
Eagles -4.5 at the Rams. Can the Eagles get it going this week, or will they get it going this week?
I think they're going to be challenged. I think the Rams are going to give them a challenge. I think Aaron Donald's going to give them a challenge. I think the Rams are going to put up a fight in this game. I expect the Eagles to score points. I expect them to score more than 24. So I think the offense is going to pick it up. I think they're going to get AJ Brown a lot more involved. I mean, they've seen how it works. Last week. The guy went bananas. So yeah, I'm giving AJ Brown the ball, and I'm gonna continue to run the football. I know it wasn't impactful last game, but that's the way you gotta keep defenses on their heels. So I'm gonna continue to run the football and feed AJ Brown and Smitty on the outside.
I think it can click. I've been saying it's going to click for 4 weeks. Hopefully, this is when it comes together. But for me, the Eagles just need to attack the Rams.
Well, define click.
They need to play a game where it looks like the offense is humming.
That's tough to play that like that flawlessly for every single game.
No. I'm not saying flawlessly, but I'm saying like where it doesn't start out slow and look ugly, and it's taking them 3 quarters for the offense to get some steam.
You're saying like last year?
Yeah, like there were games last year where they came out the gate and they were ready to go. And it's like this year they're stumbling out of the gate. They're just so damn good that they can overcome the early season mistakes.
Yeah.
But I don't want them to start out every week like that. That's not conducive to a winning team.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Cooper Kupp apparently may come back. Do you think he'll come back this week, or do you think they let him get right? Because he was practicing limited, I think they said.
Oh, yeah. I think he's gonna come back. I think he's gonna play.
Put Slay on him. I mean, it don't really matter because Cooper Kupp is Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp. I mean, you're going to need 2 bodies on him. I don't care if his hamstring's on 100%. I mean, this guy's a beast. This guy can get open and put the best of them. So, yeah, you're going to have to put 2 guys on him. The problem is they got Puka Nacua, and he's kind of like a Cooper Kupp replica, right? I don't know if he runs crispier routes than him, which he definitely doesn't. Cooper Kupp is a much better route runner, but Puka Nacua, I mean, this guy is second in the NFL in receiving yards.
I don't think Puka Nacua is going to suffer that much. Like,
I don't think so either.
Targets,
yeah, I agree.
Cooper Kupp's going to get him, but I still think he's an 8 to 10 target guy.
I agree with you, Mike.
Bare minimum, because I think he's shown enough as the main guy to not warrant the same amount of play as the second guy.
No, I agree with you.
And I think it's going to even boost Cooper Kupp's stock.
Maybe.
Because I still think that people are going to have to account for
Maybe.
I mean, he's still going to be the focal point. I'm not saying it like that, but so do you think that there's a chance the Rams could win? Like, give me a scenario where you think the Rams could win, or do you think that they just can flat out?
Oh, I think the Eagles are going to win this game regardless. I think the only way the Rams can win this game is if they get pressure with Aaron Donald up the middle and cause Jalen Hurts to maybe fumble, have some issues with the snap or something. Get in his head. You know what I mean? When you have Aaron Donald on there, you're always going to be somewhat cautious. You're always going to be wondering where he's at on the line. So like that plays into the mental. So like that's going to be a big factor. But I think the Eagles win here. I think they win by 10. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams covered this line because the way they've been playing offense this year, I think they can keep up offensively with the Eagles. However, I just think the Eagles defense is a little bit better than the Rams offensive line. And I think that's going to be the name of the game. I think we dominate in the trenches, and I think that's going to be the reason why the Eagles win this football game. Me
too. I have the Eagles both ways. I think the Eagles defensive line is actually going to overwhelm them. Similar to how the Cowboys defensive line is overwhelmed the Patriots and the Jets for that matter. I got the Eagles. I think the Eagles win. I'm going to like 30-21, 30-17. I think they get them by a decent amount.
So what's funny about this? We talk about the Eagles offenses now. Did you know that the Eagles offense this year actually has 3 more points through the first 4 weeks than the Eagles offense last year?
Really?
Yep.
It was cleaner last year.
3 more points.
You know what it was, though? Last year, nobody expected what they did to happen. This year, everybody's expecting it. And that's what I was saying.
But what's the
before.
drop-off?
The drop-off is
the
Dallas
eye test? Is the eye test?
The eye test, and Dallas Goedert is non-existent.
I mean, look, they're still putting up the same amount of points as they did.
They did. It's just they're coming differently.
What? What do you say?
The points are being scored differently.
Okay. Okay.
It's time to grow up.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify that because I was taken back, but okay. Let's move on.
Go ahead.
What?
Go. What were you saying?
Oh, I moved on.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying the Eagles scored more points.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was saying that it doesn't
this
to
year
me.
than
It
they did
doesn't.
last year.
The last year when they started scoring and they came out of nowhere and won the division like that, everybody was. I went to the Super Bowl. Everybody was shocked. This year they're so good that teams are. We are expecting them to just play lights out all the time. And that's what I was saying. It's okay to have adversity and win in different ways. I just want them to come out and look clean. They haven't played a clean game yet. The best game they played so far was the Buccaneers. I just want them to come out and look fluid and look cohesive.
Yeah.
Look similar to what they were last year. The only way they looked the same last year was is the offense and defensive line, which is the most important. But you know what I mean? Like, you're not looking at Hurts sideways. You're not looking at the coordinator sideways. Like, sometimes they're doing shit and you're just like, why did you do that? The interception he threw against the Bucs, what was that?
Yeah.
Dallas Goedert running 3-yard outs. Why? Where's the seam routes? Where's him running the skinny post, the post out? He was effective at that. Dallas Goedert's a big body. The linebackers are too slow to get to him, and the safeties aren't big enough.
Yeah, I wonder if there's like an underlying injury along the way with Goddard. I don't. Is something wrong with him?
I honestly, I don't know. I don't know.
He's too good of a player to not have an impact.
And here's the thing: I gave up because I traded him today. I don't see it because I think between Devontae and AJ, they're 8 to 10 targets apiece. You're running the ball with Swift 15 to 18 times. There's not enough opportunity for him.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't see that when I drafted him.
I didn't either. I liked Goddard this year too.
I was happy as hell.
Yeah.
I was happy. I finally got an Eagle.
I thought he was a good player.
So, Jets at Broncos. Broncos -2.5. The return of Nat Hackett. It's personal.
Wow.
It's personal.
It is personal for him. Yeah, especially after the
write
comments.
that down. It's personal. Who do you think this game is more important for?
To me, this is not a question to me. It's the Broncos. I think the expectations for the Broncos are much higher now than the Jets are with Zach Wilson. When you have a quarterback and you sign up for $245 million and you have a head coach who is the second highest paid in the NFL with $18 million and you're giving up 70 points and you're into a nail biter with the Bears, yeah, there's concern there for me. So the Broncos 100% have more to lose in this game than the Jets. Period. End of story.
Bro, it's the Broncos, but it's Sean Payton has so much on his shoulders for this.
No way. I would disagree. I would think that Russell Wilson is actually the scapegoat here.
Oh no. Payton,
absolutely.
Sean Payton made those comments about Nat Hackett.
Nah.
And Nat Hackett comes in there with his squad with Zach Wilson and the Jets.
But when you're the quarterback, you always get the blame though. No,
I understand that, but I'm saying like this game is so important for the Broncos because of Russell Wilson and Nathaniel Hackett and what Sean Payton was saying about Nathaniel Hackett.
Mm-hmm.
I think Nathaniel Hackett's going in there, he's going to throw everything at him. Zach Wilson looked all right.
He's going to throw the kitchen sink.
He is, because Zach Wilson looked okay against the Chiefs. Maybe something went off in his head. Who knows? And he figured a light bulb went off, and he figured it out a little bit for him.
Hey, that could very well happen
for him. Who do you think's under more pressure between the two, Zach or Russ?
Russ, not close. I think Zach has already accepted that he's a backup. I mean, that was kind of the notion I got there in Hard Knocks. He accepted his role as Aaron Rodgers' backup. So in his mind, he's already a backup. And next year, he's going to be a backup. He's going to be Aaron Rodgers' backup. And so to me, he has nothing. He has no pressure. I think he has everything to gain here. I think he's got something to lose in terms of his role to be a starter somewhere else, possibly. But I think in the meantime, like he's got a backup role with the Jets, and he can learn from Aaron Rodgers regardless if he passes or fails. So, but yeah, no, I think Zach Wilson has the most to gain more than to lose, to be honest with you. So yeah, this is insane. What happened?
Members only.
Oh man, that's crazy. So Roshan Johnson ruled out due to a concussion for the Bears.
Of course, because I traded Khalil Herbert today. Yeah. Oh my God, yo, fantasy is amazing. Fantasy is amazing. I really enjoy it. But to stay on track, it's Russell Wilson, dude. Russell Wilson is going to be under pressure every single game that he puts on and starts for the Broncos because of that contract and because of what he was expected to do.
Mm-hmm.
But in this game, I'm taking the Jets plus the points and the Jets outright to win this game. Matt Hackett goes back to Denver and he gets this win. Wow. The Broncos blew their load last week coming back after they had the 70-point showdown. Then they had to use all that energy to come back against the Bears. Give me Zach Wilson and Matt Hackett.
Damn. I'm going to take the Broncos here because, damn, give me the Broncos.
You're riding them?
I'm not riding nobody, but yeah, I'm going to take the Broncos. I'll tell you that. That's for sure.
No, that's perfect. That's perfect. All right. Jaguars at Bills in London. They might as well be the London Jaguars.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on over there. I don't know why they would agree to that.
I'm happy though, because now I get to eat my eggs and turkey bacon. And watch
it's fire.
I love the 9:30 games.
Yo, shout out to the Jags. Shout out to the Jags.
Bills minus 5.5. Does Josh Allen continue his dominance?
What dominance? I mean, this is regular Josh Allen. I think he's been good. I don't think he's been dominant this year. I think he's got more in the tank. I think he was capable. The way he played last Sunday is what he's capable of. I expect him to play like that regardless, but he hasn't been dominant this year. So I would say
he just dominated the Dolphins, Gus.
Yeah, but will he continue his dominance, which means he's been doing it, and I think he's been doing it for 1 week. That's how I look at the question.
I apologize.
So I look at
question different than me. That's okay,
and that's okay,
But
that's good. That makes good content, and that makes good answers. So yeah, I just think yeah, it's Josh Allen, cuz
Josh Allen. Yeah, Josh Allen will continue his dominance because Josh Allen is that good. Mm-hmm. And he's playing really good because you know what he's not doing? He's not relying on 50-yard bombs the whole time.
Yeah.
He's throwing intermediate passes, 7 yards, 6 yards. I'll tell you who's not going to be dominant. Trevor Lawrence. Because Trevor Lawrence came into this year, you had everybody talking like he was a top 5 quarterback, myself included. And right now, Trevor Lawrence isn't a top 10 quarterback. He's a borderline top 10 quarterback, excuse me. Borderline. You good?
Yeah, no, you think he's a board? I thought you were gonna rattle off some names. Go ahead.
Oh no, I will say he's not.
I got some names for you.
Yeah, no, he's not better than Jared Goff this year.
Let's talk about it. No, fuck that. Let's start with the top. Mahomes. Is he better than Mahomes?
I got you.
No, Mahomes. No. Josh Allen. No. Burrow. No. Jalen Hurts. No. Tua.
No.
Herbert.
No.
Stafford.
No.
Cousins.
No.
Lamar Jackson.
No.
Goff.
No.
Purdy.
No.
Dak.
Yes. But Baker. No.
Baker is crazy.
Baker has better stats than him.
Is he currently a top 10 quarterback? You would take Baker over Trev? The Big Show over Trev? Go ahead. Go ahead, say it. Let's go.
I mean, if we're calling a spade, Baker.
Wow!
If we're calling a spade here, Baker Mayfield did go to a shitty situation. And his rookie year, he led the league in passes. He led the league in touchdowns. And then his second year, he won that franchise a playoff game.
Arguable because the Jags.
Wait a minute. No, Trevor Lawrence came back that 28-0, so I can't use that. I can't use that to fight him.
The Jags were a shit franchise too, though, when Trevor Lawrence took over. In fairness.
They were, but they were in the AFC Championship game in 2019 with Blake Bortles.
But that was a completely different team because they completely revamped the entire team.
They got rid of Rams.
They got rid of everybody.
Barr.
Yeah.
this year, Baker Mayfield's playing better than Trevor Lawrence. I don't know how long. I don't know if it's sustainable. I don't know how long it'll last.
Fair.
But right now, this moment, Baker Mayfield, up until week 5, Baker Mayfield has outperformed Trevor Lawrence.
That's a outperform is probably the way I would probably say it too.
And that shouldn't be true because I've been told that Baker Mayfield is horrible. But as of right now, Baker Mayfield has outperformed Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. Do you think it's going to last?
I don't know, because this is what I'm caught up in. When you had us over the summer, when you were asking your groomsmen for your wedding, which I can't wait for, we got like 371 days. But I said when we were out back talking, who's going to win the NFC South?
Mm-hmm.
And I said the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
And you and Tom and Broadband, we were all laughing about it because it was like the Buccaneers. What the fuck are you talking about? The Saints are ass. The Panthers are ass. And the Falcons are ass. I really think the Buccaneers can win this division, and they have a hard schedule. But I think that Baker Mayfield can get this team to 8, 9, 10 wins. And I think that that's going to be enough to win that division. And with Trevor Lawrence, it's like you're not dominating a division that you should be head and shoulders above every team there. You have 2 rookie quarterbacks. And who's the 4th team in there? Who's the other one I can't think of?
Texans, they play the Colts and the
Titans. You have 2 rookie quarterbacks and a bottom 15 quarterback in Ryan Tannehill.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? You have the best skill position players of that entire thing. Maybe with the exception of the running back, but JT hasn't been playing. So ETN's the best running back in that conference, right? Well, no, actually, I would take ETN right now over Derrick Henry. ETN's been better than Henry this year. You have Calvin Henry, Christian Kirk, and Evan Engram. What more do you need, bro? You should be dominating.
I agree.
You haven't been that good, dude. You have a 67% completion percentage. You've thrown for 940 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 picks, and an 89% rating. What is that?
Yeah, and they have Calvin Ridley too.
Like, not for nothing, but I was just getting on Dak saying Dak hasn't been that good this year. Dak's got a 71% completion percentage, 908 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, and a 96 rating. Dak Prescott's been better than Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence is kind of like wildly, like he's been overhyped a little bit too.
Wildly overhyped. And it's coming from college because he never lost a game. He lost 1 game in college. He was great in high school. And it's like, bro, what have you seen? Like, okay, he had that one miraculous comeback against Justin Herbert. And it's like, all right, cool. I get that. And I jumped on the train too because I thought it was great. But you follow it up like this. You follow it up the next year. And it's like, bro, last year you were 3-7 and then you kind of caught fire and went into the playoffs and won that game, but you were down in that game again. So it's like when I'm looking at it, I'm like, all right, and you have 4 picks in the first half. And you come out this year and you're laying eggs all over the place.
Yeah, it's questionable. I
like, okay, and not for nothing, Trevor, what are they, 2-2? You lost to the Chiefs, you lost to the Texans. You got blown out by the Texans. Okay, you beat the Falcons and the Colts. You should beat those teams. You should be 3-1. Easily, or 4-0 if you're that dude. So I'm just saying with the Trevor Lawrence stuff, he's a borderline top 10. I would have him out of it right now. No, because he's not performing better than players like that.
So who is your top 10?
Off the top, if we're doing this, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, Tua, Lamar Jackson, Tua, Jared Goff. I would say it's 7. Or no, I would say Justin Herbert at 7. Jared Goff at 8. Dak Prescott at 9. And then I don't know number 10 off the top.
You have Lamar Jackson ahead of Jared Goff?
Yeah, I do.
I think it's close.
I do because, again, Lamar Jackson's not playing with a full deck. These injuries.
I think it's a lot closer than people think.
Oh, yeah, it is. Jared Goff has been great.
I actually think it's an arguable point now. I think if people looked at me, if you said that a year ago, I think people would probably slap the shit out of me and call me stupid as fuck.
I agree.
But now if you fast forward a year later, when we have a little bit more data with Jared Goff and Lamar Jackson, I could argue the latter. I could say Jared Goff is a better quarterback right now than Lamar Jackson, and I have him ahead of him in my top 10.
Like all those.
And I have the reasons. The reasons are, for me, it's like we label Lamar Jackson.
What are you saying?
What?
What are you comparing right now?
I think Jared Goff's a better quarterback right now than Lamar Jackson.
Let's hear it.
First 4 weeks, 1,029 passing yards, 6 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. Lamar Jackson has 794 passing yards, 220 rushing yards, and if you combine them, it's less yards than Jared Goff's passing, and he only has 4 touchdown passes. Lamar. I think Jared Goff statistically has been a lot more impressive.
Jared Goff to me,
and I know he has Amon-Ra, but you can argue he has Mark Andrews. So what, right? So, and Jared Goff was left to die in Detroit. Lamar Jackson just got a big contract, right? You would think that he should be completely at least better statistically than Jared Goff. You would think that, right? I just think the impact is, to me, you could say, I mean, look, Lamar Jackson means more on his team, I would say. He means more to the Ravens than Jared Goff probably does to the Lions. So I understand that, but I think Jared Goff is widely slept on. I think if you went into a draft and you took Jared Goff as your quarterback and you took him to win a football game over Lamar Jackson, I don't think somebody's going to look at you sideways anymore. I think that's my point. I honestly think that's my point.
Look, I think it's a fair discussion, but I don't think by you saying that, I don't think that that's a knock on Lamar Jackson. I think it's a compliment to Jared Goff.
I don't either. Don't get me wrong.
Because Jared Goff, when Jared Goff left the Rams, everybody assumed that he couldn't win a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. That may be true. He may never win a Super Bowl with the Lions. But I'm just saying Matt Stafford goes there and wins the Super Bowl. But not for nothing, Jared Goff, what he's done with the Lions, Matt Stafford never did this with the Lions, and Matt Stafford was playing with Calvin Johnson.
That's what I'm saying. Speak on it then. I mean, I think Jared Goff is wildly underrated. I have Lamar Jackson at my 10 spot. He's teetering the line. To me, like, again, I know Brock Purdy's on a loaded offense, and I get it. But, man, like, it's hard to deny that he's not playing really well. The guy that had 1 incomplete pass last week. Brock Purdy's playing fucking good football.
Yeah, can we talk about Brock Purdy? He's playing good football. Brock Purdy, man. Brock Purdy is
he's a good quarterback. Let's call it, man. Like let's stop the bullshit. Like I know it's funny to crack on him because it's Brock Purdy. We knocked him out at the NFC Championship game. I get it. But man, he's a good fucking quarterback.
I think the thing is for me is like with Jared Goff, though, going back to that, people just got to get over the first year of what happened with the Lions. Because Jared Goff has played great. Other than that, last year he was good. Look at his stats last year: 34 and I think 34 touchdowns and 7 interceptions.
Yeah, 29 touchdowns and like 6 picks or 7 picks.
That's good.
It's good numbers.
That's good numbers. Yeah, more touchdowns than Jalen Hurts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I would say his touchdowns were impactful because the Lions were in it at the end of the season,
and they could have won. Man, they just got off.
They beat Green Bay too to close it out,
and that's all you need to know about that team. They didn't lay down. They didn't roll over. None of that shit. We got way off topic there. Give me your prediction on the Jaguars and Bills. Bills minus 5.5.
I'm gonna take the Bills here. I think the Bills keep rolling. I think the Jags. This is gonna be the week where they realize they have a lot more struggles than they believe.
I think the Bills smoke them.
Yeah,
I think the Bills smoke them by about 10, 14 points. I think it's the second week that they've been in London. They're ready to go home. I think this is a bad spot for the Jags. The Bills are going to be humming and ready to go. Last preview game before we give our picks and then get out of here. Cowboys at Niners, Sunday Night Football. Niners minus 4.
Oh, this is going to be a great.
I cannot wait for this. I'm so happy the Phillies aren't on.
This is going to be an awesome
on
game.
Sunday.
Oh, they're not?
No, they play Saturday and Monday.
Saturday, right?
And then they play Monday.
That's right. Okay.
We're going to slime them out. Do you think this is a must-win for the Cowboys?
A must-win? I'm going to say no. I don't think it's a must-win. Their schedule might say otherwise. I know their schedule is really brutal down the stretch. I know after this game they play the Chargers, right?
Yeah.
They play the Chargers. Oh, wow. Monday night, actually.
They play Sunday, then Monday night?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then they play the Rams, and they play the Eagles, and they play the Giants, the Panthers, the Commanders. I don't think it's a must-win because I think they could beat the Chargers. I think they could beat the Rams. I think the Eagles game they're going to lose. but they could beat the Giants. They could beat the Panthers. They could beat this. I'm going to say no. This is not a must win.
It's not a must win, but I think it's a win that I think their psyche needs.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think from a mental standpoint, like it would be really, really beneficial for them to win this game, especially because you're going to get the Chargers coming off of a bye.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the Chargers at that point, they had a rough first quarter. By week 5, Austin Eckler comes back, and you could kind of hit the ground rolling, brand new season.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I think about that. I want to give a prop bet. CMC over under 105 rushing yards. Last time they played in the divisional round, I think he had 10 carries for 33 yards.
Yep. I'm right with you. I have under too. Under 105. I know he's been awesome. I know he's been my MVP, but the Cowboys defense is something I respect, and I think they're going to shut down CMC. I think they know they have to do that.
Correct.
And I think their pass rush can get to Brock Purdy regardless of changing the fronts. I think they could still stop the defense and get after Brock Purdy at the same time.
Yeah, I'm saying under 50%. I really believe that. The other 50%, I'm playing him in fantasy, and I'm desperate for a win. I really don't want to go on stage.
You know what's funny?
Comedy skit.
You know what's funny is that like everybody talks about the Niners, like they're like the bully of the NFC. You know what I mean? Like they're like that hard-nosed team. But one thing about them is they haven't won a Super Bowl since 1994.
Been the 2.
Interesting, man. They've been the 2, but they've choked.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about that.
Right? I mean, I do.
Nobody talks about
it. Sucks because I like Brock.
It's quiet though. The Niners have quietly become a big choke.
I've been saying that.
They have been choking. They've been choking in some big games in the last 20-something years. That's a fact.
My thing is, I really like Brock Purdy. I think he's a good quarterback. I like his story, and I love their uniforms. I just can't stand that team because I think they're all sissies.
Yeah.
Who do you trust more, Dak or Brock? This is a hard question.
This is really tough.
Because here's the thing. I don't think it's a fair question. Because right now, Brock Purdy is playing better than Dak. And it's easy to say you trust Brock more because like Brock don't really make mistakes. But by the same token, it's like you've seen Dak. You do have 7 years of data. And it's like I know Dak has been prone to make some dumbass passes and things like that. But I just feel like it's too like Brock has only played 15 games, 14 games. So I don't really know how I feel about this one. I really don't. Because like I said, it's like I feel like it's an unfair question. Because if you ask somebody right now, how do you not say Brock? He doesn't throw interceptions. He doesn't look panicked. He just looks like he's just out there dealing. 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, like it's nothing.
Well, he hasn't lost a regular season game.
That's what I'm saying.
But people forget Dak Prescott started off his rookie campaign winning 12 games in a row, I believe.
Something like that.
He won 12 games in a row. I think people forgot about that. I think if you put Brock in Dak's shoes and you put Dak in Brock's shoes from years ago when Dak was a rookie, I think you would all take Dak.
That team was good.
You would take Dak because he was winning football games, right? But in this situation, I'm going to take Brock. I mean, I know I made the compelling argument here, but Brock's been awesome. I mean,
there's nothing you can
it's
say.
hard to go against him. I mean, who do I trust? Somebody that never lost a regular season game or somebody that's lost plenty of them? I'm going to go with the guy that's never lost yet because he's never lost. He's doing something right.
Yeah.
Right? You don't just walk into the NFL and just win a bunch of games in a row. Like there's some you have to go through like growing pains and learning curves and stuff like that. Like it don't come easy for people. But for him to be undefeated, I mean, you got to tip your cap. You know what I mean? I know he's been with a good team, a Super Bowl caliber team, but you can't deny that he's been excellent.
I know.
Up to this point.
I mean, totally agree.
He's statistically been awesome. He already has 1,000 yards passing with 5 touchdowns. He's just middle of the piece.
What are you supposed to say?
He's got more touchdowns than Dak, and he's got, you know what I mean? Like he's performing. So
less
like
interceptions.
Yeah. He's right underneath the Jared Goff tier, in my opinion.
Who wins this game?
I got the Niners. They're home. It's hard to deny it. Their defense in Dallas. To me, it's a wash. You could argue Dallas is a little bit better. I think in takeaways and stuff like that. I think Dallas can take away the ball better than the Niners have, and historically they have in the last couple of years. But I'm going to go with the home team here, Sunday Night Football. I know the Cowboys have something to prove. I get it. But the Niners do too. and I think I'm going to roll with the Niners here.
Me too. I'm taking the Niners. I don't really know what to make of the Cowboys. Every time I think they're going to have a letdown game, they play great. Every time I think they're going to play great, like there's a part of me that actually likes the Cowboys tomorrow. I'm taking them with on Sunday night. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm taking the Cowboys with the points, and I would not be shocked if the Cowboys won. I think the Niners need to be careful here, but I'm taking the Niners to win. But I see this is 21-20. 22-21, one of them weird scores.
Yeah, I'll take the Cowboys with the points. I mean, you're going to give me 4 points. I believe this line is really high.
Yeah. Like for me, that says like, all right, yo, take the Niners.
Like this is telling me, like Vegas is telling me with this line that the Niners are the runaway best team in the NFC. Yeah. Because I don't think the Eagles are a 4-point favorite against Dallas.
Not right now.
No, not right now. So I think Vegas is telling you, yo, the Niners are the best team in the NFC.
They're heat.
And the Cowboys are 4 points away. They're a wide margin away, I would say, right? You would argue.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, week 4 slate, and then we get out of here.
5.
Damn.
Week 5, cuz
I'm reading off the script. Chill on me. Bears at command. Oh, damn. I put that on there. Bears at Commanders -6.5. It's currently 27-3. I'm going to go with the Bears -6.5.
Yeah, I think so too.
Texans at Falcons. Falcons -1.
I got the Texans money line.
Me too.
Yep.
Same. Texans win that game. Panthers at Lions. Lions -9.
I got the Lions here, but I'll take the Panthers with the points.
This is my iconic lock of the week. I got the Lions -9.
Wow. I'll take, yeah. Okay.
Love the Lions this week. Titans at Colts -1.
I got the Titans -1.
So do I. No, I have Colts -1.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got the Titans
outright
game. Yeah.
I have the Colts winning this game -1. Giants at Dolphins. Dolphins -11.
This is my iconic lock of the week. The Dolphins -11, coming off a loss. They are going to absolutely throttle the New York Giants in Miami. I am betting the Dolphins -16.5 too as well on Sunday. I'm dead serious. I'm going to add some points on that because I actually think they're going to blow them out by like a wide margin.
I'm taking them -16.5.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I'm buying some points.
Saints. Wait, what game was it last year where you took the -20.5?
I think it was New England, wasn't it?
It was the Patriots, and who was it? You took a -20.5, and they wound up losing outright or something.
I forget who it was.
We got to figure that out.
We do.
Saints at Patriots. Patriots -1.5.
I got the Pats -1.5 here.
I'll take the Patriots too. Bill Belichick coming off a 30.
The defense is going to be.
Although they lost Judon.
Yeah, I know, but the defense is still going to be good. It's
and
like
the Ravens, the Saints offense looks horrible. Bro, Alvin Kamara had 13 catches, and I think like 12 of them were behind the line of scrimmage.
I think he had like 33 yards or something like that.
Off of 13 catches?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It was really weird, but I'll take it all day.
Of course. Ravens -4.5 at Steelers.
This is my psychotic upset of the week, baby. I got the Steelers money line over the Ravens.
You picked the Texans to beat the Steelers, and then you picked the Steelers to beat the Ravens.
Because the Steelers just got embarrassed. They just lost 30-6. They played their arch nemesis in the Ravens, and they're home. Mike Tomlin's going to have this team ready. I would trust the coach here. I am going to take the Steelers money line at home.
I got the Ravens -4.5. This is going to be a bloodbath. Steelers are some shit.
Crazy.
Ravens all day long. They cover that spread with ease.
They're going to play so different.
Bengals -3 at the Cardinals.
I got the Cardinals money line here. I think the Cardinals get the upset over the Bengals. I think the Bengals are still going to struggle. I think there's going to be a lot of finger pointing going around in Cincinnati soon. And I think Joe Burrow is going to start to get heat if he continues to play this way. So I'm going to take the Cardinals money line here. I think they're playing inspiring football better than the Bengals.
I got the Bengals -3. This is the get right game, and this is where they get going. This is where Joey B and the boys
we said
take
this last week, bro.
I'm gonna keep saying it until they're like 1-7. But this is the get right game, and they get this shit going.
Get Nick right.
I love Nick Wright. He makes me mad sometimes, but I love him. Chiefs -5 at the Vikings.
I'm taking the Chiefs here -5. I know the Vikings are home, but I actually kind of feel like it kind of bodes well. Patrick Mahomes playing in the dome. I'm going to take the Chiefs here -5.
I'm going cold like the Minnesota Vikings at home.
That's
I got
crazy.
the Vikings on the money line for my psychotic upset of the week.
Really?
Yes.
Speak on it.
Vikings win this game. It's just a hunch.
Okay.
It's just a hunch. I think the Chiefs have been playing on offense. They've been struggling a little bit. I think the Vikings are going to be desperate for a win to try and turn their season around with Kirk Cousins. And I don't think that they could stop Justin Jefferson.
Wow. I like it. I actually really like it.
Packers -2 at Raiders.
I got the Packers here. I think they bounce back. I think Jordan Love's been playing good ball, and I know Jimmy G is coming back. But again, man, like when you mix and match quarterbacks like that, and week in and week out, it never really bodes well with the team. So I'm going to take the Packers here. I'm
taking the Packers too. Raiders are the Raiders.
Yeah,
I like what I see from Jordan Love.
Packers are trash too, John.
And hopefully Aaron Jones gets going, and I win my first fantasy game this week.
Yeah, the Packers are some shit too, though.
All right, guys, that concludes episode 176, week 5. Thank you for everybody that tuned in and was commenting tonight. It was a lot of fun. We'll see you guys next. You want to pot on Tuesday because the Phillies play Wednesday?
Yeah. We'll pot on Tuesday. We'll
see you guys next Tuesday at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Theories, take it away.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We appreciate all the love, support, and the comments. If you guys haven't done so already, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell on YouTube. We are also available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeart, Megaphone, Stitcher,
and all that other shit.
Also, follow us on all of our social platforms as you do not want to miss our daily content on X, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And we will see you guys next Tuesday at P&I, baby. Enjoy week 5 and go Birds. I'm caps lock different. It's facts, not fiction. Said I black out for real, then the track gone missing. If it's cap, I'm dipping. We ain't talking about a move, then it's flatline finished. When I spaz, I'm grinning. Put a peel off in the Sadies and I pass by spinning. It's perks with this life, but I don't have my skinach. Took a quick trip and now I'm back home winning. And I see they eyes pop like I snack on spinach. Pull up to the spot, she tryna grab my digits. I'm already 8 shots, a Henny past my limit. Here you go. Hazards with a dash full of tickets. I'ma act like I don't see them. I got bad eye vision. Y'all can't pass my scrimmage. Way y'all tripping, it's a rule.